coffee and cigarettes. Look, I can only get cracking by saying I had a very traumatic week. Mum rang. Said she was popping in for a surprise visit. Well, I went into a complete spin. I started yelling at the kids, "Quick, kids, get in the bath! But Mum, we had a bath 3 months ago! I don't care, your nana's coming!" I started yelling at my husband, John. "Quick, John, go out and mow the lawn! But we haven't got any lawn! We'll go out and buy some instant turf! And while you're there, don't forget to buy some tomatoes! What the hell do we want tomatoes for? To tie on the marijuana plant, you fool! Nana's coming!" Oh, very stressful. And look, I know Fabian's already just asked you a couple of confronting questions, but while we're all here, a quick survey. Just hands up those of you who have had a Bill Clinton experience in your office. Come on, look, men and women, come on, hands to the face first. Now, according to statistics, it is one of the most common incidents occurring in the workplace today. I read that. Back pain. Back pain. Did you read that? According to Bill. Did you read that? In the Bill, what was it? The Kenneth Star report. According to Bill, that's why he stood in the hallway with his arms stretched out, leaning against the wall to ease his back pain. Now this makes sense. And I guess Monica was just, on her way to the photocopier and she couldn't get around him. So she had to go under him, she can't go around him. As you do. Oh, it gives a whole new meaning to that slogan, back pain, don't take it lying down. This is a horrible admission, but the other day I knew just how old I was getting when someone told me a really disgusting Bill Monica joke, and I couldn't laugh at it. I could not laugh at it. Not because I haven't got a sense of humour, but because I haven't got an incontinence pad. What else is happening this week? Oh yes, I got to perform at a Weight Watchers luncheon. Now the food wasn't anything to write home about. There wasn't any. But for the gig I did some research. I love doing research. I'll research anything, anytime, anything. Anyway, I went, that was crap, but anyway, it sounds good. And I'm at work, so hey. Now, I went to the newsagents and I bought a diet magazine, and this is true, it had the headline, "Do You Do It?" with the lights on. Now, I showed this to a male friend of mine, and I swear this is what he said. He said, "Why wouldn't you?" And I said, "Well, and he said, "No. Why wouldn't you diet with the lights on?" I swear. Anyway, I said, "They're not talking about dieting, they're talking about making love." And he said, "Well, funny you should mention that, because every time my girlfriend and I are making love, she starts screaming, 'Turn the lights on! Turn the lights on! Oh, for God's sake, turn the bloody lights on!" I said, "Oh, she must really hate her body." And he said, "Oh no, she likes hers, it's mine." I tell you, it's been a full-on week. We had the Twilight Sports up at the kids' school last Monday night. Now, the Twilight Sports fundraiser, it's a non-competitive sports situation. I was in the mother-daughter wheelbarrow race. You know the wheelbarrow race? I was the wheelbarrow. I've still got gravel rash on the wrists. And speaking of breasts, and by God I'm going to, is anyone here familiar with the work of Addie Sprinkle, American sex performance artist? Anyone familiar with it? Did anyone actually see? Oh, you're putting your hand up. You're proudest punch of that. You're the only one here. I know Addie Sprinkle. Did you see her when she was in Melbourne? You did. Well, you can verify. Look, I don't want to do myself out of potential work, but by God, she could liven up a corporate function. Now, she was amazing, wasn't she? She did pretty sexually explicit stuff, didn't she? Right word, yes, you yeah. Now, you'll verify this really happened. What amazed me to line up and come up and sit on a chair on stage, and you could have a Polaroid photo taken of yourself with Annie's naked breasts on top of your head. It's true, isn't it? $20 a Polaroid, she was getting. I'm standing there thinking, my God, what a great idea for the school fund. Yeah, sure beats a London drop. Of course, I can't be the one because, well, I'm an E-cup girl. I'm not bragging, just stating facts. And I can't be the parent with a head big enough. But I recently heard on Radio National Annie Sprinkle being interviewed, and she was explaining to Philip Adams of all people, and he was explaining how she could have an orgasm just walking down the street. Well, Annie, I thought, you obviously don't live in Thornbury. The other thing I was pleased to hear Nadine talk before, because the other thing I've got into is that I have started training for the 2000 Olympics Women's Marathon, which is fairly extraordinary, considering not long ago I was one of these people who would lie in bed of a morning, you know, and think, what's the point? What is the point of getting up? And then I remember, of course, a cigarette! I just love having that first puff of Ventolin, because there's no point lying up your 16 empty beds and head for your lungs are a bit weak, so you've got to have the Ventolin first. I just love smoking. In fact, that's why I had home births. No smoking restrictions. But the big news is I have given up. Well, I had to because of the marathon. I mean, it's 40 kilometres you've got to run, and I knew I could never last that long without a cigarette. I don't know about the two-piece outfit, though. You know, that they wear, these women wear. I mean, don't get me wrong. Stomach's not fat. It's just very relaxed. Now, what bothers me is the moles. The stomach's covered in them. Now, it's my own fault. I got them on a trip to Darwin years ago, you know, way back. You know, in the days before you knew about skin cancer. In the days when safe sex meant finding somewhere to do it where your parents wouldn't catch you. Anyway, there I was in Darwin all these years ago, very fair skin, desperate for a tan. So I had myself covered in cooking oil and tied to a broomstick, with two friends holding either end, slowly rotating the zone. So I got that all over even tan. Of course I didn't get a tan, but I did get a lot of bookings for Greek weddings. The other thing is, who is hanging out for a cigarette and stuff, not long ago now. The other thing that happened was I was asked to perform at an AFL footy function, and as I said to them, look, I'd like to, but I don't think my giving birth routines will go down that well in the footy club rooms. Anyway, I spoke to a colleague of mine, and she said, Denise, just remember the golden rule of comedy. You just go in there and you talk their language. So I did. I just went in there. They loved it. Oh, and they loved it. And it was so easy for me to talk like that because I'm a mother. You know, it's amazing. As soon as you give birth, you discover the guttural depth your vocal cords will go. Remember, you stop this. I'm telling you, I'm baby. Will you pick up your shoes? only bit of advice I can give you before I go is, well, John, my husband and I, we've been trying the old role reversal. In fact, last week, I knew our role reversal was complete when John no longer cared about making love. He couldn't care less. He genuinely gets more excited about a damn good drying day. Oh no, I can't make love now. There's look at that, the sun's out. I've got to close that. But it was me who made my daughter's birthday cake, straight out of the Woman's Weekly birthday cake cookbook. Familiar with that? It ought to be banned. The standards it sets. 18 hours. A 10-lane Olympic swimming pool, complete with white tiles and a high dive. I even had little human beings made out of marzipan doing laps and frolicking in the water. Do you know how hard it is to make marzipan frolic? And as for frogs in the pond, the timing is crucial. You see, you've got to get the chocolate frog into the jelly just before the jelly sits. Well, I ended up having to set the alarm for 4 a.m. Sean woke up and said, what the hell is going on, Denise? I said, it's time to stick the frogs in the pond. Well, he got that excited. Which was a surprise. Anyway, things get going, you know, in the bed, read book, and suddenly John sat up, and he said, shh. I said, what? He said, listen. I said, what? He said, can't you hear